Hello, dear students. Today I am here with the fourth chapter of geography, that is agriculture, and this is the first part. This chapter is available in two parts. Now, before starting the chapter, I would like to tell you the second chapter, the forest and wildlife resources, is not in your syllabus, means it will not be assessed in the board examinations. Chapter number 3, that is water resources, only map work will be assessed in that. So we will continue with the fourth chapter of geography, that is agriculture. Now, agriculture. India is one of the important countries in terms of agriculture. About 65 to 70% of the population in India are still engaged in agriculture and contribute to the Indian economy. Agriculture in India meets the food requirement of nearly 125 crore people and contribute 13.9% to the GDP. GDP, that is gross domestic product of the country. This data is for year 2013-2014. Now, agriculture is an age-old and a primary economic activity. It provides livelihood to more than 63% of India's population. Now, the main aim to study this chapter is to know and understand the changes that took place in agriculture from independence till date. To understand the importance of agriculture in national economy. And yes, of course, to identify agricultural problems and list of various technological and institutional measures implemented by the government to solve the problem of agriculture. I do remember that George Washington quoted, "Agriculture is the most healthful, most useful, and most noble employment of man." So with these lines, I would like to start the chapter. Now, as earlier I have told you, India is second in the world in crop output next to China. 1.4 million square kilometer of land in India is under cultivation. And in recent data, it employs 52.1% of total workforce. Now, this was all about agriculture. Now let us talk about different types of farming. Now, over years, cultivation methods in India have changed. And on basis of that, different types of farming practices are here in front of you. Number one is your primitive subsistence farming. Second one is your intensive subsistence farming. And third one is commercial farming. One more is there, that is plantation. That also we will discuss. But these are the three major ones. So we will start with the first pattern, that is primitive subsistence farming. You can see the figures also. This is practiced on small patches of land, especially in the northeastern states where it is still practiced. Zooming is the other name of farming, mainly in northeast India. It is also called slash and burn agriculture. In this kind of farming, farmers clear a patch of land with primitive tools and produce cereals and other crops. When the fertility of the soil decreases, the farmers shift and clear a fresh patch of land for cultivation. Such type of agriculture is mainly practiced in northeastern states. And who are those northeastern states? Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam and Mizoram. Now let us see that this zooming, or what you call is slash and burn agriculture, is called by different names in different nations and different states also in India. These are some of the names where it is known as. Now, second type of farming method, or farming method practices, is intensive subsistence farming. It is a type of farming practiced in areas where the population pressure is high, means population is very high on the land. It is a labor intensive farming, means labors are required. The cultivation in these holdings has become uneconomic in most of the cases because of less surplus for the market, means it is grown for self use. It is not grown for the market, mainly due to small plots of land being cultivated. Since agriculture takes place on small patches of land, it is found that there is a great amount of pressure exerted on these agricultural lands. Now, third type of pattern, basically in intensive subsistence farming, small patches of land are there and family members are involved, and they produce for themselves only. Next one is your commercial farming. This system of farming is mainly done for the purpose of sale and profit. In this kind of farming, the farmer tries to obtain more profit through more produce. The produce are increased with the use of high doses of modern inputs. And what are those modern inputs? High yielding varieties, HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides and weedicides. For irrigation also, new techniques are used. Drip irrigation or sprinklers irrigation for good produce. The degree of commercialization of agriculture is different from in region to region. For example, rice farming in Punjab and Haryana is highly commercialized. Farmers here grow only those varieties of rice which are in great demand in the markets. Contrary to this, rice is a subsistence crop in Odisha and in the northeastern states. Now the fourth one which I was talking about was plantation agriculture. Yes, you are aware of it. Plantation agriculture is also a type of commercial farming only. Plantation agriculture is carried out in some parts of India like northeastern states, the sub-Himalayan region of West Bengal, Annamalai and Cardamom Hills in South India. This type of agriculture was introduced by Britishers in the 19th century. Plantation agriculture is bush or tree farming. The major plantation crops of India are tea, and it is grown in Assam and northern parts of West Bengal, coffee, rubber, cocoa, spices, coconut and fruit crops like apples, Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir, grapes, oranges, bananas, etc. Some of the plantation of coffee, tea and rubber have a processing factory within the estate or nearby. So this was all about the cropping types of farming. Now, let us talk about the cropping pattern in India. Cropping pattern. India has 3 cropping seasons. They are Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Now, let us discuss the first one, that is Rabi crop. It is the winter cropping season. Sowing is done between October and December, and harvesting is done in April and May. June also sometimes. June. Winter crops include wheat, gram, peas, oilseeds and barley. Some states are known for their Rabi crops like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. These states receive some rainfall during the Rabi season due to the western disturbances which originates from the Mediterranean Sea. These showers are very beneficial for Rabi crops. On account of the Green Revolution, the production of Rabi crops showed a spectacular increase in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and some areas of Rajasthan. So major Rabi crops: wheat, mustard, peas, gram, barley, and it is sown in October to December and harvested in month of April and May till June. Now let us talk about the next cropping pattern, that is Kharif crops. In this, sowing season begins on the onset of monsoon, means when monsoon comes to India in the month of June, July and ends in September, when crops are harvested. Rice, jowar, bajra, maize, arhar dal, moong, urad, groundnut, soya bean, jute and cotton are important crops grown during this season. And the most important rice growing areas in West Bengal are West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Kerala, Konkan plains of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. So, what is the cropping pattern? Kharif crop, it is sown in the month of on the onset of monsoon and it is harvested in the month of September and October. Important crops: paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, arhar, moong, urad, cotton, jute, groundnut and soya bean. Now next type is your Zaid. Crops grown in between March and June are known as Zaid. Traditionally, some vegetables and fruits are grown in this season. Watermelon, muskmelon and cucumber are main crops. Now with the coming of irrigational facilities, rice, maize, groundnut, various vegetables and some pulses like moong and urad are successfully grown as Zaid crops. Some fodder crops like maize and jowar are gaining importance as Zaid crops. Now let us talk about some of the major crops which are grown in India. If we talk about grains, rice, wheat, millets, maize, pulses. Now some food crops other than grains: sugarcane, oil seeds, tea, coffee, horticulture crops. Non-food crops: rubber, fiber crops, cotton, jute, etc. Now, the first one is your rice. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world. It contributes 22% to the total world rice production after China. Growth of rice requires an annual temperature of about 24 degrees Celsius, or you can say about 25 degrees Celsius, which is high and even high humidity with annual rainfall of about 100 centimeter. Rice is grown in a variety of soils. The areas where there is less rainfall, rice is grown with the help of canal irrigation and tube wells. And where it is practiced with the help of canal irrigation and tube wells? Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh. Rice is a kharif crop. The chief rice producing states in India are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Punjab, Tamil Nadu and Odisha. Here you can see on the map of India, major area and minor area. Now, next crop is your wheat. Wheat is one of the oldest crops of India and is a staple food of the people of North India. India is also the second largest producer of wheat. It requires cool growing season and bright sunshine at ripening time. It requires 50 to 70 centimeter of rainfall evenly distributed, means equally distributed over the growing season. Important wheat growing zones: Ganga Satluj plains, black soil region in Deccan, and major wheat producing states are Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, parts of Madhya Pradesh. Here you can see on the map major and minor area where wheat is produced in India. Now, let us talk about the next crop, that is millets. Now, these are small grain cereals which include jowar, bajra and ragi. Millets are also known as coarse grains, C-O-A-R-S-E, coarse grains. Millets can be grown in both Rabi and Kharif season in the temperatures ranging between 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius and rainfall between 50 to 120 centimeter. So I told you that millets are generally categorized in three. One is ragi, another one is bajra, another one is jowar. Now let us talk about ragi. Ragi is very rich in iron, calcium and other micronutrients and roughage also. It is a crop of dry regions and grows well on red, sandy, loamy and black soils. Karnataka is the largest producer, followed by Tamil Nadu. If you are not able to identify ragi, you can see the pictures also, ragi, jowar and bajra. Now, if I talk about jowar, it is rain crop, means where rainfall is very high. Mostly grown in the moist areas which hardly need irrigation because already it is having sufficient rainfall. Maharashtra is the largest producer, followed by Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Third one is your bajra. It grows well on sandy soils and black soil. Rajasthan is the largest producer of bajra, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana. Now next crop is maize. You can see the figure, maize, you are very friendly with that. It is a kharif crop and one of the most important crops with many industrial uses. Popcorn, the very first thing which comes in our mind. It is a crop which is used as food and as fodder also. Means it is fodder. Fodder means it is given to animals. It is grown at the temperature of 21 degrees Celsius and the soil best suited is old alluvial soil. The production of maize has increased due to modern technology. Production has increased, yes, of course, if we use modern technology, the production will increase. And what are those modern technologies? HYV seeds, fertilizers and irrigation. Now, basically it is grown in the chief producers are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Now, let's talk about pulses. Pulses play an important role in our diet, especially Indians. Arhar dal, urad dal, peas, grams and moong dal. These are kharif as well as rabi crops. India is the largest producer as well as consumer of pulses in the world. These include pea, beans, lentils, grams like arhar, urad, peas or you call it chana dal, gram and moong. These all are very nutritive, rich in proteins, almost a vegetarian diet of both North and South India. They grow well in dry, light soils. Temperature requirement is 20 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Rainfall required 50 to 75 centimeter. These crops restore soil fertility by mixing nitrogen from the air and are mostly grown in rotation with other crops. It is mainly produced in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka. Tuar dal and arhar dal is widely grown in Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. Now, food crops other than grains. Sugarcane, yes. Sugarcane. India's most important commercial crop is sugarcane. Farmers grow it as a cash crop. India ranks second in the world in both area and in the production of sugarcane. Means area wise also and production wise also. We rank second in the world. It is a tropical as well as subtropical crop. Hot and humid climate is ideal for its growth. Temperature between 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. And annual rainfall of 75 to 100 centimeter is required. Main sources of sugar, jaggery, khansari and molasses is sugarcane. Major producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. Now, let us talk about tea. Tea cultivation was introduced in India initially by the Britishers during their rule in India. It is an example of plantation crop and is an important beverage crop also. It is called beverage crop. India today is the leading producer of tea. There are three types of tea: black, green and oolong tea. Oolong, OOLONG. Black, green and oolong tea. Tea grows well on well-drained, light loamy soil, area having tropical climate. It is for this reason that slopes are best suited for growing tea, and quality tea is also grown at higher altitudes. Tea is a labor-intensive crop and requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor. Areas of production: Assam, Darjeeling in West Bengal, Tripura, Nilgiri Hills, Palni Hills and Annamalai Hills in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Karnataka. India is the leading producer as well as exporter of tea in the world. Now let us talk about coffee. It was also introduced by the Britishers in India, and it is another important beverage crop. India produces about 4% of the world's coffee. There are three types of coffee: Arabica, Robusta and Liberia. Arabica is in great demand all over the world. Arabica, R-A-B-I-C-A. Why it is in great demand in the world? The answer is for its good quality. Coffee plants grew well in drained soil at altitude ranging between 1100 to 2400 meters. Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh are the chief coffee producing states. Coffee plantations are located in the Nilgiri, Palni and Annamalai hills. Actually, the Arabica quality, it was brought from Yemen and is produced in India. And where it was planted? Initially it was introduced in Baba Budan hills, and even today its cultivation is confined to the Nilgiri in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. That's all for this part, students. We studied about what is agriculture, introduction of agriculture, why we need to study this chapter. We studied about different types of farming, that is primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming, commercial farming, plantation agriculture. After that we discussed about the cropping pattern, that is Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. After that some of the major crops: rice, wheat, millets and maize, pulses, sugarcane, tea and coffee. In the next part, we will study about some of the horticultural crops and non-food crops. Thank you and have a nice day.